What's up, everybody? It's Big John here. This is going to be in the beginning advanced lessons part 2 on how to remove pencil and subsequently the indentations of that pencil, what leaves behind. So I'm just trying to set this up so you guys can see the pencil there on the cover. I'll lift it up here and show you a little closer. But there it is. And you can see the indentations. Now, this book is pretty bad, but it's a good book. So we're going to try to clean it up. Now, this book has some actual dirt in it. When you open the cover and you feel the first page, you can actually feel the dirt in it and on it. So we're actually going to clean this up and try to fix it up a little bit, even though it's pretty bad. It's got a small tear right there. But anyway, it's a good book that I can show you guys a couple of things on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this back to normal. And I'm going to show you guys how I remove pencil. I recommend getting a small eraser. First of all, of course, you want to put on your gloves, which you can see I'm doing now. I've already washed my hands and dried them. So I'm going to put on my gloves here. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your sealing tool. That's going to remove the indentations for you that the pressure of the pencil being pushed down left on the book. And then we're going to be using some moisture. But what I like to do to get the pencil off, now the pencil, believe it or not, goes from, here, right above the 3, all the way to the end. There's a D right here, almost to the black. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and try to remove all that. So what I use is basically the triangular pencil erasers. But I buy the soft ones. You can find these at Michael's. I feel that that's the best place that I found them. So we're just going to find a somewhat clean one here. I use the mess out of them, so most of them are dirty until I clean them all at once. So here's a brand new one. So we're going to go ahead and use this. And basically, I just stick it on the end of a pen. You can stick it on the end of on a paintbrush if you want. So I'm going to do that. So what you want to do is you want to have your makeup pad removers ready. You want to have a paintbrush ready. And you want to have just your regular distilled water ready. Okay, and a non-stick sheet, which I have underneath here, which I'm going to put underneath this when I'm ready to add the moisture. So basically what I'm going to do is there's a hair on it. I'm just going to go ahead and erase the pencil, and then I'm going to go ahead and add moisture to it. So I'm just going to push down here, and separate my fingers so that I get a good tight spread on the paper. And I'm going in a circular motion, and I'm just adding a little bit of pressure, not a lot, just to remove the pencil. We're not trying to do much of anything else here. We just want to get rid of the pencil. Okay, now we want to clean off the tip a little bit. You just want to take your paintbrush and you want to get the eraser off of the book, the eraser pieces completely off the book. Okay, now we're going to go to the second part here. It looks like it says second time around. So now we're going to go and try to remove that. We have to be careful because it's right on the line of the black. So we don't want to go circular here. We want to go back and forth just real gently. We don't want to hit that black with the eraser. Now that once we've got that down and gone, we can go ahead and circular motion the rest of it. You notice that I'm still pulling my fingers apart. I want the paper to remain, really, really, tart. I don't want it flexing on me at all. You can really damage a book if you allow it to flex. Get this E here. And then every time you do this, you don't want a buildup of the eraser material. So you just want to get it off. Every time you go off and do this, you just want to try to remove all that eraser residue. Okay, now it looks like the last piece we got here is around the last word here. So we're going to move this a little bit around here, no pun intended. And I want to just push down on the spine just above the loop of the D. And I want to go right in front of the A. And remember, it's pretty close to this black here, so we want to go straight. That's why I like these tipped erasers, because I can get as close as I want to that black without actually hitting it. And then once I get away from it, I can go in my circular motions really tight, not a lot of pressure, and I can gently remove the rest of the word. Okay, so now it seems like we've gotten it all off. I'm going to go ahead and clean this of the residue. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. And you can see that the penciling is gone, but the indentations from the penciling is still there. So now we're going to go and try to remove the indentations, okay? So now how I'm going to do it is I'm going to take my nonstick sheet here, lay this on my magazine board, and I'm going to put it underneath here. And then I'm going to grab a magazine board. And of course, it doesn't really matter at this point. I'm going to put the magazine board right up against that spine with the nonstick sheet there. Right? Because you want to something flat underneath. And we want to make sure that we're good centering on our board there. Now my iron is up to temperature. So now we're going to take our distilled water, that's all this is, and we're going to just add it to our pad. Now, you notice I said we're just adding it. That's all we did was add it, okay? Now we're going to grab another nonstick sheet, and we're going to set it on top of here, and what we're going to do is just going to gently, circular or figure eights on this area, right? And we're going to try to preheat it. Right? We want to just preheat it a little bit. So I'm just going to do tight circles. We want to preheat this paper. We're going very gently, letting the iron's weight do its job. We're not trying to, press anything out. We're just trying to preheat this paper, because that's really going to help us when we add the moisture. So I preheated my area. I'm going to move it. And I can still see all the indentations here. So now we're going to take that pad with the distilled water on it. And now we're just I'm going to hold it down, and I'm just going to rub it on that top area that we just heated up. And I want it somewhat moist, right? So that's all we're doing, is we're just really getting that kind of wet. Being gentle, we don't want to tear the paper. And you can see how dirty this book is. But I'm not worried about the dirt on the book at the moment. I'm just worried about these pencil indentations. So now we're going to put our nonstick back on top of it. And now we're slowly going to move the sealing tool back and forth, circular motions, and we're going to pull and try to get out those indentations that the pencil left behind. Again, we're only letting the weight of the sealing tool drop. We don't need to add that much weight. And you just want to keep doing this until the indentations are gone. I do about 4 passes. And then what I'll do is I'll take the non-stick sheet off. And then if I see more, I'll add a little bit more moisture. And then I'll do this again. So we're going to come down like this. And I think that's number 5. So we'll go back up 6. You can't hurt. So there, we've done 6, I think 6 full passes. What did that take? Like a minute and a half, 2 minutes? So then I'm going to pull that off, and you're going to look really close. Well, I still see just a few left. So we're going to take that same pad, but we're going to flip it over to the other side. We don't want dirt. So now we're just going to rub again, get it nice and wet. So now we've got it wet again. And now I'm going to throw this away. I'm done using this. Okay, now we're going to take our nonstick sheet and we're going to use the other side, not the same side that we just did all those circular motions because it has the little patterns. Okay, now we're going to do this one more time and then we're going to see what it looks like. Like, again, just the weight of the tool doing its job. We are not, doing anything like that. This is all we're doing. I'm going to do this about, I don't know, I'll do it until I feel like I think they'd all be gone. Now, as I'm moving this up and down, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I am moving the nonstick sheet towards me a little bit. That way I always have like a clean surface underneath to work with. All right, I feel that should be good. Set down our sealing tool there. And I'm going to pick this book up and take a look. And it does have some wrinkling, which there should be from doing that. But I'm going to show this close on the camera. You can see the wrinkling, but there is no more indentations. And believe it or not, that wrinkling is simple. It will come out in a press. So all the indentations of the pencil is gone. And that's how you do that. This has been Big John. I hope you enjoyed this. This has been In the Beginning, advanced lesson number 2, the removal of pencil ink, of pencil lead, and the indentations. But for right now, I'm out.